got comments, bro.
How the hell did this... The hell time is it? Oh. Welcome. It's weird that it queued you guys up. And we were on the toilet, actually, talking. That's where we do most of our business.
I got a notification
Oh, you did?
at 7:09.
Oh.
Yo.
So,
Hey, baby.
so I'll let people start joining here. And this is a sound check. Can you hear us properly?
What this?
Okay. I just want to make sure. And also, I'm going to get the live chat queued up so I can respond to comments and see them, because I can't see anything on that little
I know,
tiny screen.
it's freaking tiny. You need like triple monitors.
We are not receiving video data rate fast enough. Your viewers may experience a bad connection. Oh, that's promising. How is the stream quality? I know this is very amateur, but I have to ask.
Hey. Someone said something about squirting.
All right, the chat is now on my laptops. Let's get rid of this. How the hell do you get rid of this?
It looks like you have a filter on, bro. I look nice and tan.
All right, let's get started, guys. Thanks for joining the official live stream of 2019.
It's been a while.
I know, it's been way too
I
long.
think the last one you did was the demon.
Yeah. So we're here to talk about a few things. One, the auto show. Yes, because everybody keeps asking about the auto show, which I didn't want to waste my time spending hundreds of dollars to go there just to look at cars sitting, and then like 5,000 people do videos about it anyway. Get rid of your nose hair. Who's got the nose hair? Well, we'll do that in the next live stream. We'll get rid of the nose hair live. So, there's a couple things to talk about before we get into questions, and then we'll take all of your lovely questions. This Friday, 7 a.m. in the morning, I'm going to be releasing a very, very special video.
It's the one you've lusted over for years.
Yes, this is going to change the game. It's not going to change any game, but this is the year. This is going to be a special video for everybody. So tell your family, go to the nursing home and tell people there that to log in at 7 a.m. Central Time to watch this masterpiece. The second thing, we got an Acura. Well, behind us, what is this?
Expedition.
The Expedition Max. Oh, this thing is. You talk about a coffin hauler. I mean, seriously.
How many can it tow?
Probably 2. I mean, it's huge. And then I finally have an Acura RDX, which I think I'm the last person on the planet to do a video on that.
Yeah, it's old news. I've seen them all already.
I know. You know, like Honda, it's like I have to go to Canada to get them on time, but whatever, I'm happy to have it because it is finally a legit Acura product. I think that's all I have.
Is that the first Acura?
First new generation Acura. The NSX technically was kind of their
No,
first.
no, for you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Sad. That's what happens when you talk trash about the NSX.
But it's the best car ever.
Yeah, I know. That haunted me by talking about that car online forever. So, let's get to the questions, okay? I know you don't want to hear us babbling. What do you think about the 2020 Exploder and specifically the move to the RWD architecture? The new Explorer is rear-wheel drive biased, or rear-wheel drive.
Good.
And
It'll
you know
teach
why?
people how to drive again.
No, because they're talking about making some type of Mustang-ish version like a Mustang kind of like SUV.
An
out
El
of it.
Camino, hopefully,
I don't
or whatever
know.
the hell the Ford version was called. That would be amazing.
Oh, it would be amazing. I don't know. I have to drive it. You know, like I'm gonna say this about a lot of the auto show cars. People are like, "What do you think of the Supra? What do you think of the S209?"
Supra,
Yeah, the new Supra got announced.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything about it.
Really? Yeah, bullshit. It's all your.
I know every freaking article is Supra, Supra, Supra.
I don't want to judge them until I drive them, but I think it's a good move on Ford's part to kind of get rid of like these not like have the cute utes that are front wheel drive, but have real rear wheel
Right,
drive
they
SUVs.
should. They should. I mean, they should have at least one besides these monsters.
Yeah, these are too big for most people.
And something to compete with a 4Runner.
I'm excited about it. Long story short, let's get to the next question. There's a lot of hey babies in here, and I'm feeling a little offended by that and outraged.
Hashtag me too.
Yeah. What do we got? What up, Turbowski? What are your thoughts on the Supra? Let's get to that because I know somebody's going to ask that about 20 times. The Supra, what do you think?
Snoozer. I don't know. Have to drive it.
That's it?
I mean, whatever. I'm not that impressed by it.
I'll say two things about it. Everyday Driver, they posted on Instagram like the FT1 versus the Supra, and it's the same thing as the FRS concept.
Right, of course. It always is.
They showed this concept for like 3 years, and you're like, oh my god, this looks amazing. And then they release the final version, and it's like, you're so let down. Like every cool detail is gone because obviously you have to make it a production car and pass the crash test and all that. And then the fact that I think the worst part for me, I want a Toyota sports car. I told you this.
Not a BMW.
Yes. Like, why would I, as a Toyota fan, if I was a Toyota fan, want to go buy a BMW? It's BMW all
because
through
it's
and through.
premium. Then you're gonna have premium problems.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is they have the ECUs easier to reflash and stuff because it's a BMW ECU. So the idea is that you can tune it and modify it easier, and it's going to be the ultimate tuner car and repair shop car because people are going to be able to modify the hell out of it, and then the repair shops are going to be fixing it when you blow it up.
And they're like, we don't want to touch it.
Now, I think it'll be cool. Honestly, that's about as pure of a sports car as you can possibly get if you remove the BMW element of it. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Because it's BMW infotainment too, isn't it?
It's everything is BMW, and in fact, I mean, I know that Toyota was involved in like the chassis design and that part of it. Like they wanted low center of gravity and all of that. But ZF Trans, BMW motor, ECU, interior. I mean, basically everything. But kind of, I guess, well, Toyota had a say in the architecture and all that. But whatever.
Well, speaking of Toyota, at least they did something right with the RCF Trek
Yes.
car or whatever the hell they call that thing.
What does everybody think of that RCF Track Edition?
That's pretty amazing.
That-
That's a real car. Has there pictures of the inside?
Yeah, it's all red.
But I heard it shed 800 pounds. I don't know. I guess I
No,
never saw a picture.
it's not 800 pounds. I think it's
Or
like,
maybe 800 pounds total on the car they shed.
no, I think it was only like 200 pounds they
I
shed.
thought I read.
Well, if they're only making 60 a
Ask
year.
Siri.
It's like the what was that? The Laguna? No, the Lime Rock Edition M3,
Mm-hmm.
the E92. There was like 5 of them. Nobody ever got to see one. All right, let's do this. Let's get back to some other questions. Thanks everybody for joining. By the way, I know this is taking time out of your busy schedule to sit here and listen to us ramble. So thank you. The stream started at 7:15. Well, 7:10. I don't want to lie. Somebody has donated $5. Oh, £5.
Isn't that euros?
€5. I'm sorry. To Scott because they want you to know that they enjoy your reviews. And Scott's got his own review channel that just kicked off. Well, actually, let's be serious about this. Scott has been like. You've been in videos, but I've always had the reins pretty tight on like the editing and all this shit. So Scott does a lot of like slideshow shit. Like he's big into photos and stuff for like your trips. And he's super competent with like the editing software that he was using. And I'm like, why there's no reason why you couldn't try your hand at editing. So he just did his first edit on an old video just to test, and I was super impressed with it. So you might start seeing some videos that have the Turbowski touch, and it is different than mine. Very different. It's good, but it's just a different
I
way to do
highlight
it.
all the bad parts.
Yeah, the focus on content is different. Yeah, and
Well,
so
that was just a screw around video. So
Yeah.
I found all the parts that you probably wouldn't have used. And let's highlight those.
we might do like a short video once and just have 2 edits of the same thing, just for fun, just to see what people think. Because this is YouTube. We're not.
I don't want to win any awards, though.
Yeah, right. Well, don't worry, you won't win an award yet. We haven't been noticed by the top level people. All right, so that's the next thing. It's a bit grainy. Hopefully, it's not grainy anymore. I'm using a Pixel 3, which that's about as mainstream as you can get because I broke my HTC. What was it, U11?
Should think about an iPhone.
Yeah, well, maybe one day when I switch over to Apple. So this one's from Smoothie E7. Never had a chance to tell you thank you both for all that you do. Really appreciate your honesty overall. Please never change your approach. Thank you.
Yeah, and I know you wish you would push it a little further if you could. But
I would.
You can't.
I can't push any farther.
Right.
I have to.
You can't offend.
I have to be so careful, and there's so many times where I'll talk to Jack, and he'll be like, "Dude, what are you doing?" He's like, "Do you want to not have any work?" Or and it's true because I'm like, I really naturally I'm off the deep end with stuff, and it is some of the shit is so offensive to people. Like even though it's not really offensive to me, I have to be more sensitive that other people might be offended by some of the shit that I do. So, namely, car manufacturers get their panties in a bunch about some of this stuff. All right. Yes, we're very white. I have a light on us, but guess what?
I feel like I have a tan though.
Guess what, bro? We're gonna go.
Give me vivid.
We're gonna go to pop. No, I shouldn't play around with filters. We're not women. We don't need to glamorize ourselves like that. Okay, so what's up with all the Kia, Toyota, Hyundai reviews and no Chevy or FCA normal cars? Well, we're going to be taking care of that, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
All right, the straight answer to that is in our region, in Chicagoland. I've said this before. The way you get cars is manufacturers have fleets all around the U.S. And you have to think about how many vehicles that is to give out to all these people in the U.S. So New York area, Chicago area, and all the other subregions. So certain markets don't get as many press cars or vehicles available, or you have to be on the elite list to get first access to stuff. And the elite list sometimes doesn't make sense, namely in America. It's basically about how long you've been around. So big companies that help to sell a lot of cars like Cars.com or Kelley Blue Book or like Motor Trend, these guys get cars first. And that's it. And when a car reaches a certain amount of mileage, they pull it from the fleet. And if you're not in the first 10 people to get the car, you don't get it. And not every car comes into the fleet. So certain cars or certain manufacturers have bigger budgets. Hyundai, Kia, Toyota, a lot of these companies put a lot of money in press cars. They find that it's a good value to get more vehicles out. It's free publicity. Their only expense is, having those car loans. Mm-hmm. But certain manufacturers don't have a budget at all. And that is representative of usually the cars that you don't see as much as it's mostly budgetary at this point. Now, and that's a lot because I'm in Chicago. If I just traveled to Detroit, which wouldn't be financially good to do, I could get more. If I went to Canada, which I could get more. If I went to LA or California, I could get more. So it's getting there, but you're just going to have to be patient with that until there's other options. So that's the true story behind that. And Supra, White background is a bit overexposed. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna worry about exposure on a cell phone. What is that? Jose, thank you for your donation. Thanks for saying that we do some good videos, because Scott puts all his heart into them.
Yeah.
Scott does dirty dancing. How often do you go dancing?
No, I don't dance.
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever happened with your dance lesson?
I
Dance
did
lesson.
some dance lessons, and I suck at it. I suck at
You
it.
should show us some moves.
Oh my god, I'm horrible. Well, the problem was I did all the Mexican stuff, like mostly, and like bachata and all the other ones.
Guacamole.
Guacamole. Yeah, yeah. No, I sucked, and it was so embarrassing because you'd go and get a dance partner, and the girls seriously want to dance, like they wanted to learn, and here I am just making it horrible for them, and they want to kill me, so I stopped. So now I just dance in the dark.
With the lights off.
Yes, with the lights off. Doug, thank you for your hard work. I feel fortunate to have found your channel. Appreciate your no BS approach. Thank you. There's a lot of effort put into that. I think more so than a lot. I mean, we spend.
I don't think people. I mean, obviously, with playing around with that editing, excuse me, the little bit I did, I knew it was complicated, but it's amazing.
It's a pain in the ass. I mean, it's
I mean, you could chop something together quickly and make it work.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people do that on YouTube because the benefit. It's better, the YouTube universe, and this is a good topic, really. The way YouTube works is the more you get out, like Scotty Kilmer. I'm not really calling him out, but I am. He does a video every day. So what do you do when you have to release a video every day? You're not going to be very original because you don't have, I mean, how do you become original with doing a car video every day? So that's not really a knock on him, but you look at how they churn it out. It's quantity is what YouTube rewards. So a lot of these people just put out videos because, you know, they have enough subscribers and eventually they're going to get the views. And I don't find joy in that. I would rather like look back at the video that I do and be like, okay, I like that, or I didn't like
It
it.
took me 5 hours to make that 30 seconds.
Right? Yeah. So yeah, it is a lot of work, and that's just what I enjoy. I would never enjoy just churning out shit. So if there's not as many videos as you'd like, well, I can't really do any more than I'm already doing. Party in the USA, yes, because somebody asked on Instagram the little grooves in the tires. If you drive at the race tires, if you drive them at a certain speed, does it play music? And I said, yeah, it plays Miley Cyrus. I got the license for that. Savage, you never answer me one question. What's up? Are you gonna ever get show on your channel? I know you said before that's your girl's Taurus engine blew up, but the show isn't worth buying. The show, the old one, like the Yamaha show, or the new one? I mean,
You know you have access to a show.
I know I do. There's somebody, one of the guys you know, he's offered it to me, and I need to do that probably when the weather gets better for real. So yes, I'm going to do a video on the show. I can't tell you if it's worth buying because I'm a little bit biased towards that. I had a shitty time with the older Tauruses, so I would never buy one again. But that doesn't mean that there's not a cajillion of them on the road and that you wouldn't have a problem. I feel like there's better cars out there. But why don't I just do a video on it instead of
Why
making
don't you do a video on every generation Taurus?
Oh God, no. Finally got the V8 in my Gremlin. It's about time.
Nice. Gremlin, that's an amazing car. I remember as a little kid going to the drag strip, there was a wheelie car that was a Gremlin. Thing was ridiculous.
Was it? I've never driven one before.
I've never driven. I would love to drive the wheelie car though.
Jesus, dude, I'm so far behind here. Dude.
You need a prompt.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, it's like yeah, hard to keep track.
Wow. Sorry, just give me a minute here to regroup. There are so many things. I don't want to be a dick and just...
Someone said something about motorcycles. Will you ever review motorcycles?
Yo, Sam, I see you. What's up? You know, I will never review motorcycles. Scott could probably do that, but I wouldn't. I need a Santa Fe review channels for sure. Picked up a Honda 2005 Pilot, pretty baller. That's back when they weren't. That's back when you could probably trust them for sure.
Yeah, but we've seen two recently.
Mm-hmm.
The where the rear subframe mounts, something ripped out, just completely rusted through in the suspension. Something like just basically fell off, and I can't remember what the hell it was.
It was on the Pilot?
Yes, two pilots, both on the left rear, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was. Whatever. Next time I see that guy, I'll get back to you.
Okay. Do you think there will ever be a truly efficient zero-emission automobile? Even electric cars pollute. With the production of battery, and it doesn't seem to be worth buying an electric car now. Sorry I hacked up your comment, but this is a topic that I've wanted to go into for a while, and I plan on doing a fine print about electric cars. And I talk to a lot of people. There's really a weird diversity of electric car people. There's the diehards, like the Tesla guys, that are blind. They're blind fanboyism. They just there's no logic to it. It's like a religion. And then there's people that are like the green advocates that are so, I mean, like beyond liberal. Like they don't even hear what you're saying when you make an argument against it, like resources, human rights, all the stuff that factors into it. They just ignore it, like, no, get rid of internal combustion cars. So I want to make a video that's more balanced about like both sides, where Tesla's doing really good things, and then there's shit that they're not doing well. And, you know, electric cars aren't perfect. There's still a lot of things that go into it in terms of resources and people. And that's a huge topic that I don't want to go into here, but I believe in it. I just think it's going to take some time. It's going to take a really long time to get there. And making batteries, that's the biggest problem. You know, everybody's like, well, why can't we make more electric cars? Well, that'd be great if, one, it was affordable, two, you could get enough batteries to make them all. I think that's the biggest problem, supply and demand. If you forced countries, like China supposedly going more electric, they have a mandate. Well, where the hell do you get all these batteries from? And where do you get batteries that not only you get them, but they last?
Well, yeah, that's a big thing.
Yeah. So anyway, I would like to see it happen, but I don't see it happening for at least 20 years. Jeep products. I'm going to have the Rubicon and the Sahara, a combined video. And I just got out of the Sahara, or whatever the hell it is. Is it the Sahara? What's the mall crawler one?
The mall crawler?
Yeah. The Nerf one. It's not, whatever.
I don't know.
I'm going to be in both the new ones.
It was the blue.
The blue one, yeah. I mean, honestly, I thought it was amazing when I drove it, and I'm going to drive the Rubicon with Jack's friend. He just bought one. It's being built right now, and we're going to do some off-roading and shit in it. And he's big in off-roading. He's not just like, you know, show up at a Starbucks and drive over a cup of coffee.
Throw some mud on it.
Right,
yeah. Bro,
he doesn't have a mud cannon. So, yeah, I'm excited about the Jeep, and I can see why people like it. The other Jeep stuff, ooh, I got to bite my tongue on that. I don't like the Renegade and all that. That's the stuff I don't like. I think it's really...
But the Trackhawk?
Trackhawk,
that's amazing.
That's legit. Yeah, right. I mean... That's real Jeeps. You should do a sub-channel on reviewing washing machines.
I think toilets would be better.
Toilets, I actually have a toilet review coming, a washlet review. I don't know when I'm going to do that, though.
You should do it like one of those Japanese videos where everything is censored. With the blur.
Right, yeah. Everything will be blurred. Land Cruiser or LX 570 Land Cruiser? Supra or BMW Z4. I haven't driven either, but they should be the same, and who cares? No, I don't know. I'll let you know when I drive them both. Fellow Chicagoan, I made the move to ATX. Love your channel. Since the supercharger install, I feel the frustration. I don't miss that at all. I am happy to be done with all that modification shit.
Dude, we should put a supercharger in every car that you get, temporary.
I'm sure now we could get free superchargers, and I can tell you right now, even if you paid me $10,000, gave me a supercharger kit, everything, for like the S2000, I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't even consider doing it if that's just how... Ugh. It's like saying, oh... check out this person that you could hook up with, but by the way, they have every STD on Earth. but they're so attractive.
That's a good way to put it.
I mean, it's like, no thanks. I know I'm going to offend somebody with that. Where's Tom? Tom is getting ready for his birthday party. New Avalon. I drove it. I loved it, and I lost all the footage. It's better than the Camry, way better than the Camry on the inside. And if you get a chance to drive it, or you're looking for a mid-sized car, check out the Avalon. It's kick-ass.
Was that the one on the drive that fell?
What do you mean?
Didn't one of the drive that fell off the table? Was that?
Oh yeah. No, it was one of the well, it was a drive that went bad. That wasn't the one I dropped, but I had moved all the footage to the drive, and I didn't copy all of it. Some of it was corrupted. It was just a mess, so I never did a video on it. What's the SUVs behind us? That's the RDX. Well, you can't see it.
You can even see it.
You can't see it. The RDX is over there, and that's the Expedition Platinum Max. This is from
EcoBoost.
Chaos Nilly. You guys think Hyundai LSD will trickle down from Veloster N? Also, any news on the new GLI? I appreciate you guys. I don't know. I think what these companies are doing, and you can see it with Mazda doing it now, they're reserving like LSDs and independent rear suspension for some sport model and then stripping it out of every other thing. I don't see any cost advantage of putting an LSD or any of that on any normal car. There's just no point. It's going to cost them at least $500 per model to do it, and I think you're going to have to buy a car like the N in the future to get all that good stuff. Did you sell the S2 and buy a 100K go-kart? No, I have the S2000. The Atom is a different story, which I will share in the spring and go over some of that stuff because I have a lot of videos to do with the Atom.
It's endless.
Yeah, and it will be endless.
I'm never having a garage queen again. Now I got 2 of them.
I kind of touched on the Atom thing. I'm in this Type R chat on Instagram, and the guys are like, obviously they have Type Rs, or, the one guy's got a WRX. And it's hard for me to get excited about these newer cars that are so, like, okay, we're going to make a sports car, but it's got to be a sports car that has comfortable seats, that has a great sound system, that has, 360 camera, has all these
Room
things.
for 6 bags of golf clubs.
Right. Yeah, and that's a sports car, and I'm just tired of it. I just want a car for when I want to drive for real, that I don't have to turn off shit, that I don't have to, like, figure out how to turn off a screen or deal with any of it. I just want to drive, and I like the purity.
Or have OnStar call you while you're running flat out.
Yeah, what car
Were you
was
in
it?
an accident? There's a Corvette or a Camaro. Corvette, I think.
Yeah, I think it was the Corvette. Yeah, the ZR. Was it the ZR1?
Yeah, no, I'm on the racetrack. Sir, is anybody hurt? No, I'm on the racetrack.
Yeah. That's the dude that drove that car, the Atom. The same one that I have. He's the one that tested it. So, I mean, I could see if you're testing that and you're a race car driver, like, yeah, just what I want is to have my telematics call me, like, for an emergency. When you're in a Corvette, on the Corvette Museum racetrack, and you're getting bothered by OnStar. Right. I wonder if there's a way to turn it off.
Hit it with a hammer.
Yeah, there you go. Why was your Ford Focus RS review so negative?
I'm surprised you didn't get that instead of the Atom. Well, I'll tell you what, that secret review coming out, your favorite car ever, whatever, or the best car ever, when I sat in it, what did I say? I feel like I'm driving the Focus RS. It has like the same seating position.
Yeah. I think Matt Farah would be a better guy to talk to about the Focus RS. I think the problem with the Focus RS is I really didn't spend enough time in the Focus ST and the Fiesta ST before I did that video. And people were like, this is God's gift to the automotive world. And all I did is I really looked at the price. It was over $40,000, mostly $45,000 with the markup. And I just can't fathom why you would want to spend that kind of money on a Ford Focus. And every time I got into it, I'm like, I could not wrap my head around that. It was like if that car was $25,000 all day long, but it was just so much money. I could go almost buy a used race car for that amount of money. I could buy so many cars that would bring me more joy than that in the used market than a fucking Ford Focus. Ugh.
They should have came up with a different name for it.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just the wrong guy to talk to about it. I don't think it was. I don't think it's a great car by any stretch. I would rather have a Fiesta ST. I would rather have something that I could get into for like $18,000, still have the same amount of fun, and I could accept the shitty interior, the horrible ride, but I'm still having fun, and I'm not in the hole for all that money.
Right.
That's the way that I look at it. That was a really long rant about a car I don't really care about. SG, I can't let you know enough how much we value your channel. When I found out, it was like looking at myself to review cars, and I share a lot of the same views. Well, thanks. I think obviously you attract the like-minded people when you do this, and I don't just want to attract people. I want people to question us too. Like people. I like when people come on and like, you're a fucking idiot. You don't know this, you don't know that, and as long as somebody's like, okay, look, I can learn you on something. I like that type of discussion. I don't just want it to be everybody's like in agreement, because you really don't learn anything if it's that way. So I thank you, obviously.
Well, there's so much to learn, and as much research as you do, there's always going to be more that you missed, or just don't have the time to find out.
Yeah. All right, so I just got a complaint that that I'm too far behind on questions. Thanks, Kevin, for your donation. I don't know, Dan. That's a good question. I think you already know the answer to that. Are you excited about the 2020 GT500? No, not at all. I'm not excited because I want a new Mustang at this point. I'm tired of them coming out with 20 different models of the same body. I know that they've maxed out what they could possibly do with that car, and I love the GT350. Now it's a GT500, and then it'll be a GT500 R, and then a GT500 Bullet. I mean, there's just too many Mustangs.
It'd be cool to get your hands on one of the, what the hell's the race car one called? The FR?
Yeah, the FR, the real race car with the sequential and all
Yeah,
that.
that'd be cool.
Which is based on the GT350. Well, loosely based on that. I don't know. I'm not excited for it because it's another car that's going to be very expensive, that is not manual transmission. It's a dual clutch, Ford's first dual clutch in that type of car. And I just want to have fun driving, and I don't know that. Why not just get a Hellcat? If you want 700 horsepower in a cruiser that makes a lot of fun noises and it's cool to drive around for a lot less money, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm just rambling on about this shit. I'm sure somebody's gonna love the GT500 because they hold their value, like the previous generation hold their value so much.
And it's cool what they're doing, don't get me wrong. At least somebody's doing stuff like that.
Yes.
There's still a few left.
I'll give them that. They're trying, and at least they're releasing stuff, and there's still a V8. When there's a GT500 with like a 3-cylinder and a supercharger,
EcoBooster.
then I should have a real right to complain. The GT500 is amazing. Just keep making it. Let's see what else we got. Jeep GL welds are failing. If you have a link to that, is there a forum thread about it? I'm assuming that's people doing off-road.
Isn't that the one that they had a buyback on?
The GL?
I don't know what the hell that is.
That's the chassis.
I know, but what is that in American?
That the JL's the
English?
new one.
Yeah, I thought
So it's
some
like
of them
just
had
like NCN deal.
Well, I know, but I don't know I don't keep track of what's what.
The previous generation one, you mean?
No, what everyone has the weld problem. I thought they missed the weld somewhere structural, and they had to replace the car for the people.
I should know that, but I don't.
I'm pretty sure that might be what that's talking about.
Well, I still haven't. I got to do the video on the Rubicon and all that stuff, and Jack's doing most of the work on that, and his buddy who's buying one, so they're going to be able to educate me more on that. I don't know everything. and it's impossible to. That's what you're here for, is to help educate me as well. The 2016, 2017 Chrysler 200s were better than 2015s. It's been a good car. My mom has a 200S alloy edition, and she recently had a transmission and engine update, but it rides smooth when it's reliable. This is an interesting part about FCA. You know, all these American car companies are, you know, they're ditching cars, man. The 200 really wasn't that bad of a car in general, but they just weren't committed to keep making it, probably because they didn't make any money.
Well, bro, Chevy's bringing the Trailblazer back to fill the gap between the Trax and the Equinox. I mean, it's groundbreaking.
I don't know
there.
why you just wouldn't buy a Trax. I would just buy a Trax and call it a night, call it a year.
Call it tow truck.
There's more questions about electric cars. I'm not going to do that. We have nuclear power in Illinois, so electric would make a lot of sense here. I will respond to that. Supercharger or turbocharger? For a street car, supercharger. For track,
Neither.
neither. I always prefer superchargers for the sound. But then again, when you get in a good turbocharged car, like a real, like ridiculous. I'm not talking like these Eco 4 popper things.
Right.
But yeah, when you get a real turbo that's like snaps your neck and makes all these crazy sounds, you're like, all right, I get it. TRD Camry or Avalon? That's an Avalon. GTI or Focus ST for long-term ownership? Focus ST. Do not compromise your personality for a PC corporate butt hurt police. You're hilarious. Keep speaking truth. Yeah. Try to find the right balance there.
You an OG, bro.
I like your videos. You an OG. Thanks, Bold Sports. I like the sound of that. Thoughts on 1,000 pounds of torque and the new Fiat Cummins?
That was amazing.
God. When is it ever going to be enough torque? Never?
Man, you gotta tug some boats.
Until you can do a tug of war, pull down a
Just
building?
think of the vessel you can tug with that
Oh,
thing,
man. That's premium.
And then someone's gonna modify and get even more.
Oh yeah, I know. Like that. I mean, that's the crazy part about it is people just. You could give somebody 5,000. You could have a locomotive, like engine, diesel powertrain, and the thing wouldn't be enough torque for somebody. Thoughts on the BMW Supra? I kind of answered that at the beginning, so I'm not going to go back to that. The trend of Silicon Valley merging with the automobile industry. I'm for it in autonomous cars. You have to do it in autonomous cars, but you have to do it right. And that's the problem. Is we're in the ugly duckling phase of automotive technology because these manufacturers don't have a good grip on how to implement technology. Most of the people in the field, the automotive field, didn't start in tech, and so it's kind of a mess. I know like companies like Tesla are doing better, and now you finally have companies that are working with like Google. Android Auto, and Android in general is becoming a OS for certain car companies. I mean, you're gonna see it. It's just I would rather not have it until it's right because I hate when they make customers the beta or guinea pigs for all this shit. Most annoying YouTubers. I really don't want to call anybody out because I'm gonna get my ass handed to me for this because I'm gonna be meeting some of these people like for real, and it's different when you say stuff online. Versus, like,
Who are you gonna meet?
I'm probably gonna run. Like people ask me all the time, "What's your beef with Subaru WRX fan?" Because I parody his WRX shit, and to me, like it was just funny. Like for me, it was funny to do it for my own amusement. But every time I did it, people would tag him or link him, and he'd go watch it to see how he was getting made fun of this week. And the guy, he may not say it, but his feelings are hurt. I mean, how could you not have hurt feelings? And like I told him, I messaged him, I'm like, dude, it's not about making fun of you. Like that's like yes it is, but it's more of a parody of your character, your persona in videos. I know you don't go around like I know this dude doesn't go driving around like laughing like he just had his balls like crushed. You know, I mean, I know that's not how you really behave. So to me, it's funny to parody that, but at the same time, it's about crossing that line between being funny and doing this shit, and then being a bully. Which I'm gonna run into this guy at some point, and then it's gonna be all fucking uncomfortable. So I would rather just not do it.
Y'all should just bunk together one night.
Yeah, we just get bunk beds and be like, "Hey, Matt." We can do digital or simulator drives to horsepower reaction on Forza or something.
On EcoBoosts.
Yeah, EcoBoost. Scotty Kilmer is not my hero. I will say that he had 2 videos that were a direct copy of my 2 videos I did on the trends, which is to be expected. It's YouTube. He copied the title word for word, and like even the tags were the same in the video. So it's like, okay, I mean, I get it. Like I said, like you have to make a video every day. You have to steal other people's stuff, especially if you see it has views. I mean, that's the way it works. But I would rather see Scotty take his 79 years of experience he's always talking about. Like, how long has that dude been working on cars?
Supposedly a long time.
Take the camera into the shop and show me stuff like the other dudes are doing. Like, show me some stuff, dude. Just like take a car apart and be like, this is why it sucks.
Show me what a carburetor's all about.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it would be funny to see him doing it. I know it's easier not to do that now. Like, it's just easier to make bullshit videos. Like, one a day, okay, clickbait, title, and picture, done. Get somebody roped in, and then a minute later they tune out. I know that's easier, but I know that he's more capable than that. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say about Scotty Kilmer.
I mean, I could do that every day with the frustrations of modern cars.
Yeah, all you need is a GoPro on your head.
I know.
You just have to edit it. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, it'd be easy though.
Well, yeah, I guess you just jump cut
Chop,
it.
yeah, chop it up. I mean, today I had like an older Kia Sedona. I changed the headlight bulb right between the battery and the front of the car. It's got one of these bullshit spring tension clips that kind of hold the bulb in. Dude, for the life of me, I could not get that thing to go back into its hook. I was so pissed off.
What'd you do? Did you have a...
Oh, I finally got it.
Oh, you did?
Like, whoever invented this shit gets shot. Or have their ball... I don't remember what I said. I'm like, oh my God, it was so frustrating. And it should be so easy.
Yeah. No,
But it wasn't that cold, but it was just cold enough where... Oh, so frustrating.
That's the real stuff. I feel like, dude, if you're a mechanic and you're in that world, that's what I want to see too. But hey, you know what? It's not my content. I'm not making it. I don't have to watch it. You know, do whatever you want. But I think it would be funny to see you doing that.
Oh, it'd be hilarious. I mean, some of the stuff that goes on.
I had the CX-5 I gave back today, and I'm not going to talk about that too much other than saying I dropped my phone. Like a lot of Lexuses, they have a piece of foam between the seat and the center console so shit doesn't fall in there like your phone. So I was getting out of the car, my phone fell there, and then it fell. I couldn't get it, and it was stuck. So I'm sitting there trying to dig it out, and I was standing outside in 20-degree weather, 25-degree weather all day today filming in the snow because it wasn't plowed. And I couldn't feel my hands. I couldn't get the phone. And then just when I got the phone, it fell back down. And then my garage door opener fell out of my pocket in the same crack.
Man.
So I was like, I did have one of it on video of me swearing about something else because the camera like tipped over. And it was just a slew of 20 seconds of profanity. But that's like nothing compared to what you do.
Well, it'd be amazing if the phone got stuck just right. Like, oh, let me try to move the seat forward to get it. And it's just like
Cracked
crunch.
it. Yeah, I know. But yeah, dude, working on cars is the worst. Steve says proudly for $20, everything from FCA is crap. Steve, thank you. I'm sure FCA will really appreciate your kind words. Dan, it seems to me that you can have the best of both worlds. Favorite cars from the past and modern parts. Anybody got a clean original 300ZX slick top for sale?
That would be fun. A fun one to get your hands on.
It would be. A lot of people talk about it. I think the Straight Pipes did a 300ZX from, of course, Nissan has a museum of like new cars that they just give them. So they did a ZX, and I think they did 2 ZXs. Well, anyway, whatever.
I think I've probably driven one in my entire life.
I drove the twin turbo like when it was newer, and of course, I was younger, so I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. It was like the same thing, the Supra effect. I'm gonna go now to the new ones and work my way back up. Dan says, "I'm forever grateful for your channel. You never utter the word awesome, bro. That is an awesome comment. Thanks again, Dan. Would you get a Golf with a DSG or manual? I'm a manual person. Not that the DSG is bad. Well, you know what? A GTI with a DSG maybe. A Golf R with a manual. Z30, what are your thoughts about manufacturers equipping driver assist tech like blind spot monitoring, LKS, AAB, standard, even in the base models? I hate it, and I don't want the car doing its job for me. I 100% agree. I just drove this thing yesterday, and I was in the car with my mom taking her to a doctor's appointment, or picking her, I don't remember. Yeah, taking her to a doctor's appointment. And there's a car in front of me turning right, and I was probably 6 cars behind, and because it was turning right and I was still maintaining my speed, the full warning came on and it hit the brakes. And to me, this is why I don't like this shit. You know, it's for the mainstream people. It's gonna help the like normal people that don't pay attention, that are on their phones, probably save a lot of accidents, and that's the future. That's why I prefer a car like the Atom, where
You can't use your phone.
you can't use your phone driving it. There's no option.
There's nowhere to put it, and if it's in your pocket, you ain't getting it out.
Right? Yeah, exactly. I just want a car like that again, but that's not realistic.
See, at least in a motorcycle, if your phone's in your pocket, you can just stand up at a stop sign or a stoplight and pull it out and put it back in. That car,
Right?
you ain't doing it.
Nope. Your honest opinion on speeding. That's really, it depends on the circumstance. I mean, I go 10 over because I know every single cop I've talked. The studies show 11 miles an hour over, your chances of getting a ticket increase by like 70%. So 10 miles an hour over, that's the golden rule, and just keep your eyes peeled. You should know where cops can hide. I mean, it's not like they can hide a big ass Ford Explorer in like a little cubby hole. So
Oh, it's a bitch when that guy's standing behind the box with the
right.
gun.
Yes, yeah. The certain states, like, they'll have the motorcycle cops and the dude's like in the trenches with his
Or Arizona with the freaking towers coming out of the car around the corner, and you're like, by the time you see it, you're already caught.
Yep. Doofman 2, $10 without even making a comment. But I assume you had a comment. I'll just make one up for you. You said, Doofman 2 says, "I'm the best. Your channel sucks." Your thoughts on the actual interior and build quality of the mid-engine Corvette? It looks like that car's going to be $150,000. That's what it makes me think. I feel like that car's moving up market. I really hope that they have something that's more affordable, because that's really what makes the Corvette attractive.
Maybe they'll bring back the Chevette.
2019 Veloster.
Kick your phone.
Oh, that's fine. Yo, man, I know I would go, if you're going to spend the money, just get the 2019 Veloster, because it's a far superior chassis. Just chassis alone. The engine and trans are like virtually identical, but you're going to like the way it drives way better than the old one. I already have the new Veloster. I already recorded some of it, but I'm combining the Veloster R spec with the Veloster N, and that won't be until February. It's a good car. I just think it's going to fall through the cracks. I say that a lot. Like, when cars come out, people get so excited about them, and it's one of those that's just going to disappear because it does everything kind of good, but it's not like, it doesn't have that special factor that's going to get people to go over to him like, "Oh my god, bro, I got a Veloster," and people are like, "Oh yeah, okay, I'll see you later." You know, it just, maybe the Veloster N might have that effect, but the regular ones won't. That doesn't mean it's a bad car, by the way. I have a Ford Escort ZX2. Man.
Amazing.
Yeah, I know. That car was...
You know how many of those are in the Lemons races? And they have amazing names for them. They're all like stripper related because they're escorts. It's amazing.
Yo, I'm not talking shit about the Veloster, because I owned one, and I owned one for different reasons than performance. I wanted an eco car. That's the way that I saw it. But I like the fact that it's different body-wise. But a lot of people didn't agree with me. Do you agree with Scotty saying, but only Toyota? I would have to say that he's pretty accurate.
Well, I'm sorry,
Toyota's the most reliable car.
I would say so. A customer asked me today. They're thinking about buying a new car. Like, which should I buy? I'm like, Toyota, Lexus. He's like, what else? Toyota, Lexus. He's like, what about Chevy? I'm like, Toyota, Lexus. I'm like, I don't even want to recommend a car because I told you that story, and the last
Yeah.
time it seems like it did. That car never has problems, and that person got the biggest lemon in the world. So.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing with new cars. You can't really predict. That doesn't mean that Toyota's going to be the best thing out there. Let's see where the Toyotas are at in 7 years. Now that they,
Well, and
you
that's the
know,
thing. I mean, that's 4 or 5 years. Is like look at the Hyundai Sonatas now, 2013 and 2014. The engines are just blowing up.
yeah, and
Customer sitting at a stoplight. Oh, my engine's stalled. I had it towed in. Maybe the alternator. No, your engine locked up.
was that part of the rod bearing one?
At idle, they said they didn't hear any noise. Nothing. Just
Just popped
Just
and done. That's the thing with cars. So I had this conversation with Jack, and we were talking about because Jack has connections in the industry. I'm not going to talk about that, but for the most part, manufacturers are building their cars to get to like that 200,000 mile range. That's like drivetrain wise what they want it to last to, but it's about 5 years. That's where they plan on life cycles with cars. So as these new cars are coming out, like it's hard to judge them until like let's see what they do in 6 years. Maybe Toyotas will be total shit, and we'll be having a different conversation. Just you can't predict it. It's just impossible. The CX-5 Turbo. I'm not going to do a full video on it. It's going to be like half because it's the same as the other CX-5. But the turbo part, I'm going to go into that in pretty great depth. I think it's still the best SUV out there that you can get for that price range, but there's some things that I didn't particularly like.
what's that about that Bonneville SSEI?
I like how your eyes go right
Oh,
to
I
the Bonneville.
saw that. Where the hell did it go?
What's Scott's YouTube channel? That'll be public eventually. I didn't.
I saw something about a Bonneville SSEI, bro. That's it. Oh,
God, dude. This, you know,
there's got to be a better way to do
there's
this.
gotta. You're right. There's gotta be a better way. Like, so with this live stream stuff, people, you could sort by top chat, people that pay, and like a lot of people just sort by people that pay. And I'm trying to get through them, but the problem is that when there's so many, like I can't even scroll. Like I can't scroll and really sort through what the
You
hell
need
is
to put
what.
it on a full screen like AOL Messenger.
Yeah,
chat
no
room.
shit. And I feel bad because it's not like I'm purposely trying to skip these people's comments. Like I can't even read it. My mind is exploding. Chicago Auto Show, is it worth traveling? Hell no. It's a good auto show though. Wow, Trump commercial. I almost unsubscribed. There's a Trump commercial it was like ads.
Amazing.
Weird. What do you think about the refresh Maxima? I like the Maxima. I just feel like they shot themselves in the foot with the CVT, even though the CVT is good. I test drove a Scion TC today. What are your thoughts on that car? Super reliable, kind of boring, but it's one of those that you would buy and you're not going to have any problems with. Lexus GSF or Genesis G80 Sport? Ooh.
I know what I would pick.
The GSF.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because of the V8. That's the only reason. Patagonia. Patagonia, I bought 3 or 4 things from them when I had my other job because I just wanted shit that would last. That was the main reason why. And they've been good. I mean, I washed the shit out of them too, so.
I prefer Spider, but unfortunately I didn't bring my
Oh,
Spider model
you
with.
didn't? I wish it was a blind logo. I wish you could buy this stuff without logos on it because people get crazy about
Mine's
it.
blind, bro. Black on black.
Oh. You see Canada Goose does the black label now? Yeah, it's even more money to change the label to black. That's the way to do it. What about Honda? Can't speak to that. They got some work to do with quality, I think. Sticker price on GT500. Well, you know it's going to be more than the GT350. I would say 70 to start, maybe more.
Yikes.
Treviso. Wait a second. Trevisio or Trevisio, well, however you want to say it. I appreciate your channel, one of the most informative auto channels. It would be awesome if you put together raw footage you're driving, including pedal cams. The fine print is incredible too. Hot dicks.
You have done foot cam.
I have done foot cams in some of the cars, but it's hard to do it. Why? I see. I don't like to do it on automatics because, like,
I know that's.
you know, like, oh boy, it's like watching somebody flush a toilet. What cars are you looking forward into 2019? I don't know, none. I mean, I'm looking forward.
When's the Corvette supposed to be released?
I
What,
think well,
2020?
the rumor is Chicago. They're gonna really announce it, like show it for real. That's rumors, though. I mean, that changes every day. I don't know the mid-engine Corvette. Yeah, pretty much all. I like all cars. I really do, especially when I get to video them. I get into them more. Like if you just said, "Oh, Mark, here's 50 cars," I'd be like, "Okay, just give them to me," and then I get excited. I don't like the fantasy element. Hello from India. Yo, India represent.
You need to go to India and do a rickshaw.
I know, I'd probably
That'd
kill
be
myself if I
amazing.
tipped that thing over. Toyota GT or 2000 GT has tons of fun. It just cost over $1 million. Will you be keeping up on the International Auto Show in Boston starting tomorrow? Lots of new cool shit like the 2020 Phantom EV. I do try to follow it. I do read every day. I do a lot of reading. I'm sure you do too. I mean, there's so much when you're into cars and then tech and like, well, I'm in electronics, technology, like current events. Like I'll try to watch or pay attention to like Vice, like all this. I want to be educated.
I
as
know.
much.
I don't know how you have time to do it all.
I don't.
Well,
I mean, my brain feels like it's going to explode half the time. But anyway, yeah. I will be keeping up on it, as with most of you are probably the same way as I am.
go back up. I saw the Bonneville thing again. Right there.
Thoughts on a 95 Pontiac Bonneville SSEI 2500 Canadian or pesos only has 250k miles.
Oh,
That's all you, man.
that's worth $1, if that.
What, is it garbage?
Yeah, that's that supercharged 3.8 Bonneville.
Oh.
Man,
Garbage?
that
then?
car was cool back in the day.
So don't buy it?
No, hell no.
Okay.
Would you buy anything from 95 GM?
No.
There's your answer,
Maybe a Corsica.
bro. The Arrow with that stuck out back window,
No, yeah.
or whatever it was called.
I can't remember. Want to speed use the unit in radar detector? Yeah, probably. I had them and I just never used them. I like using common sense. Okay, let's get on because we're gonna close this up in like 10 minutes. I am apologizing ahead of time for not getting through all these. Please, please, please review the 2019 Audi A8. Yes, I will. Range Rover repair costs. How bad
A
is it?
lot. We just had shit. What the hell year was that thing? Some discovery pile. We had to do an evaporator and a heater core on it. It took 8 weeks to get the evaporator from the UK. And it took us forever to finally get to the car. It was $2,000 to do it.
Really?
So the evaporator itself was $800, the most expensive one I've ever seen, part wise.
Holy shit.
And you're not going to put some aftermarket thing in when you got to take a freaking dash out. You buy what's known to be good. I would never own one. Hell no.
Not as a used car. I would never own one unless it was leased, or you had some specific usage case for it where it was a part-time car, like something like you would use it for its legitimate purpose and not put a ton of miles on it.
And have a spare for when it's in the shop.
Yes. Is the charity you work with getting a GT500? I don't know. I have to talk to them. The next car that's on the Tri Industries list is the M2 competition, and I'm
sorry, which one?
M2 competition,
Oh,
and which I'm not touching it in the winter because it's just going to destroy it. Avalon or Lexus ES350, ES350, Mazda 3 review. Yes, I'm trying to go to the launch for the Mazda 3. I don't know why I'm not on the launch list for Mazda, but I'm trying to get access to the engineers for that. Does Scott miss having you in his garage?
all the time.
I don't make it over there enough. but that's because you always have too many junks for me. Thoughts on the death of the manual transmission? It sucks.
Meh.
I mean,
I could live without it.
I can't live without it in a if they took a Miata and got rid of a manual transmission, would you be okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
You get a little.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, hi, Mark. Yeah.
I want to flap some paddles.
Yeah, I want to flat paddles on a 4-cylinder car. Lincoln Continental. Yeah, I'll have one in spring. Probably the updated one with the whatever you call the doors. I don't know what the technical right name for those doors
Do
is.
you want me to kill the Jeep?
Yeah, if you could. It's probably too late now. The 3.8 supercharged is a good motor. The rest of the car is built like shit. Oh, it's over there. On the wall over there. What do you mean when Honda has some quality issues to work out? Like the oil dilution issues on their motors. What's the other Honda stuff?
All of them?
Like what specifically recently?
I mean, I don't know. The fits are blowing up. I don't know what else.
Oh yeah, when the fits were coming out, they had problems with blowing up motors coming off the trucks. I feel like there's quality issues with like engine building.
I feel like there's more oil consumption issues again.
Yeah.
they try to trick it by filling the oil up with gas, but that didn't work out so well.
Best minimalistic cheap car to own. I would say a Miata. Oh, I'm sorry. Like not sports car. Older Hondas, like
Honda Accord?
yeah, older like early 2000s Hondas. Modern cars probably like the Rio, the Accent, like the really cheaper Korean cars, and like a Corolla if you can get a base Corolla, something like that. There's a few donations I missed. Okay, let me get those. Sorry. JP, many people were asking this question. Best all-wheel drive sports sedan around 25 to 30K that's fun as a daily driver. I think that the de facto answer is Subaru. Like the Subarus. I mean, who else does it like them?
Nobody.
That's to me. I as much as I'm not a huge Subaru fan, that's where I would go if I wanted an all-wheel drive sedan. Xbox or PS4? I've always had PS4. I had PS1, 2, 3, and 4, and I had an Xbox One that had the red ring like 3 times, or the second one, I don't even remember now. And after the thing broke twice, I was done with Xbox. I was just like, what am I doing here?
I always had PlayStations as well.
Yeah. What do you got a 4 now, right?
Mm-hmm. I had 1, 2, and then 4. I never had a 3.
I still have my 3, and all of them still work. Do you think CAN bus protocols will ever be standardized across the industry? Yes, it needs to be, for sure, with all the electronics. Starting from stock, what should one budget for mods in an early BRZ and where to put it? That's pretty easy. The only thing that car needs is tires, brake pads, and brake fluid to have a good time in it. It's really good stock. If you're track driving it, you need some type of cooling. You need to run a thicker oil and a oil cooler on that car if you're really driving it hard on the track. If you're just autocrossing it, just tires, brake pads, and brake fluid. That's it. Doofman 2, Savage Geese, what car event have you wanted to go to that you haven't gone to yet? I would like to go to Radwood. I know that's kind of stupid, but I think it would be fun because it's all 90s junks and 80s. I don't know. You'd have to throw out some recommendations. Table 36. Love the M3 videos. Makes me want to buy one and run from it all at the same time. The M3, the E92 M3 is pretty badass. It just, mine had too many problems and I got rid of it. But if it was a second car, I could see having a lot of fun with it. Like if you were going to make it like that, like the Land Rover idea, like, okay, you got one cheap and you're going to put it in a garage and just do like track days with it and you set it up for that, or you only put like 10,000 miles on it. And like,
yeah, you're going to spend as much time working on it as you do editing videos.
Yeah, exactly.
So take your pick.
True. Chris Harris levels of cinematography. I don't know, man. Maybe eventually.
Wow, what was that?
Somebody said that we have the same levels of cinematography as the Chris Harris videos. His guy, the guy that he works with, he's been working with forever, does all his drone footage and all that. And it's funny, I was talking to Jack today about that because I'm trying to figure out like the lead follow stuff still. And I've gone up and back with like doing remote rigs and all this shit. And every time I just go back to hanging out of a car and using a gimbal.
Gotta do like that picture I sent you, the guy laying on the Formula One car.
Yeah, well,
from back in the day.
yeah, that's exactly how to do it. It's very complicated to get something that's reliable and not crazy expensive for camera shit.
Here.
Is Savage Geese right or left leaning? Oh yeah, there you go.
That's how you do
That's
it.
how you do. That's amazing. Is Savage Geese left or right leaning? That's a slippery slope. I go up and back over the years. Like I feel like there's two extremes now. There's crazy liberal and there's crazy right or whatever you want to label them now. I think both sides have legitimate arguments for stuff. Like in the car world, some of the regulations are the very reason why we have so many problems. But at the same time, like you can't run rampant and just be like everybody's driving around rolling coal, getting 5 miles to the gallon. You know, there's like this level of balance that hasn't been struck. So I don't know what that makes me, but I wish there was just a better balance between all these sides. Everybody's just fucking nuts now. Everybody's more concerned about being right than just like trying to do the right thing. That probably makes me sound liberal. Honda Accord 2.0 T with a manual or a Type R?
Oof.
Dude, that's like, John, that's totally two different cars. If you just want to have fun and you don't care how something looks, the Type R is your best bang for your buck. But the 2-liter in the Accord with a manual is a lot of fun. I drove it. I didn't do a video on it, but I got to drive it for a day, and I really thought that was one of the best options out there. Nap 250 for someone with crippling OCD. What are the best bets? Less than 40,000 for no interior squeaks and rattles.
That's all you.
Man, dude, that's hard. New, you're probably gonna have to go to check out the Avalon. That car was so solid. Trying to think of what else. Like, well, I'll say this: the Golf R was really solid. That car.
I mean, those cars always seem to, even when
Yeah.
they're 10 years old, they seem to be quiet.
Yeah, but that would be like, I'm sorry, that's a really generic answer, but check out the Avalon and the Golf R, two totally different cars, but they were solid as hell, and those cars were beat, the ones that were in. What would you recommend for a first-time driver with a decent job after university starts, as in terms of a luxury coupe, A5 or 4 Series? Oof. If you're probably gonna lease it, dude. Just pick one. I like the way that the A5 was compared. I feel like the A5 has more personality, and that's not saying much, than the 4 Series does. The new BMWs just seem so, like, they feel like they're doing the same thing. It's no different, and they're even less like, you don't feel anything driving
They're
them.
not prestigious.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, maybe that's a good thing. They feel
The
like,
prices went up, but
Yeah.
elegance went down.
yeah, right. They feel more like, I feel like the new Accord is better than the newer BMWs, like in terms of like overall usability. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like Audi doesn't have much of a personality either, but I feel like it's their interior design. There's more attention to detail in a lot of the newer Audis than there is in BMW, and that's, I mean, we could argue that all day. Best way to learn mechanics without expensive courses.
YouTube. South Main Auto and what's a Scanner Danner? Well, I mean, that guy's the next level. I mean, some of his stuff. Well, South Main is the same way, but as far as basic stuff goes, both of those guys are really good.
Check out both. South Main is amazing. I like Eric the car guy personally.
I haven't watched him in forever.
Really?
Ever since he went off the air for a while, I haven't watched anything from him.
Okay.
I mean, South Main, I used it for my own good before.
Okay.
I mean, there was a problem I had. I'm like, I couldn't figure out for the life of me. All the tech stuff we have wouldn't help. Searched online, boom, one of South Main's came up, and it was the exact same problem.
Cool.
So it was quite the cheater.
It's a cheater method.
Well, it was a wiring repair that rotted out in a Jeep Liberty in the freaking right front wheel well or left front wheel well out of some fuse box. One terminal rotted off, and it jumped 4 relays to do a bunch of stuff. The fans would turn on randomly. It would do all types of weird stuff. And it's like, dude, where do you even start? And he had just had one in. So
Sweet. Yeah, so I know that's really cheesy, the answer. It's like so generic. Google it or you check out a YouTube video, but it is legit. If you find somebody that knows what they're doing.
that's my last resort. But
Yeah. The other thing too is Scanner Danner. I know a lot of people don't know him because he's way over many people's heads, but that guy is doing the future of automotive repair.
You're right, yeah.
That if you want to see the future of what automotive repair is, you watch Scanner Danner. And it's one of the most frustrating things to watch, but it's also amazing what you can do if you know how to do stuff.
Yeah, and you also have to have all those fancy tools,
Yes.
too. I mean, South Main does the same thing, but not just at the level that he does it at.
Yeah. So that's a long answer. Chris Vicks and Eric the Car Guy are legit. Yeah, I mean, everybody's got their repair guys, and it depends on what you're working on. You know, certain guys are more like Eric the Car Guy. Isn't he big in Acuras and Hondas mostly? Like that was his deal.
Yeah, he was a master tech at Acura, and he said once he reached that master tech level, they let him go because your pay goes up then. So I mean, you look at how he started. I mean, he was in his garage fixing people's cars at horrible light and horrible quality at first.
The cool thing about that guy and a lot of these repair guys is it's almost like a public service. In some ways, yeah, they're making money off of it. They have to. Otherwise, why would you want to waste all the time editing? But they really are. Some of these guys that do a good job with the repair stuff, it can save you so much time or money. Unlike like we talk about shit, we're helping people in a different way, but like those guys are in the fucking trenches, you know. And I always think that's cool that they do it. A lot of respect because I couldn't do it.
I mean, well, nothing against that, but I mean, we just don't have. We're too busy to cut and move cameras and I mean, because you got to make it good.
Yes. Otherwise, it's like horrible to watch.
Right. If you have a camera up here, you can't see what the hell's going on. I mean, it's just.
Yeah,
it's go.
And it's lighting too. You got to make sure it's lit, otherwise it looks like crap, or you can't see, and then it's pointless. But yeah, I've talked to Scott about wearing like an action camera, GoPro, or Sony on his head while he works on some of these cars. But he is legit so busy that.
I mean, in the GoPro, I mean, how crappy is that?
It's going to look horrible.
Right. It's going to be so shaky.
The only thing you could do is like record it and show the bullshit that you have to deal with. Like literally just only turn it on and be like, look how bad this is.
Right. Or you get some like flexible tripod where you can just constantly keep moving it around where you're working. Because otherwise, I mean, to do the fancy stuff with the real stuff,
right. There's no way.
It's set up.
But it's more, that's the other thing too, is like Scott's got a real job, you know, like moving a camera around when you're busy all day is one more step that you don't want to deal with. It's one more thing to worry about when you're being pulled in 20 different directions. So I get why you wouldn't want to do it. I think if you started that might be a good way to kick off like a channel of your own and just edit the shit. Just put some random shitty videos on. You know, people are going to come from this and just watch it just because it's you. And just try that and see what people say. It might be funny. Like we joke around about the GM stuff, how bad some of these cars are. That's something I'd want to see. Like you get a car in all the time, same problem. Why did they do this? Why do we keep having it come in? Avoid this car.
Yeah, like an Equinox comes with the check-ins. Like I don't even need to hook the scanner up to it. It's probably one of 3 codes, and usually it's all 3.
Yeah, it's true. Like this, Dawson said, Eric said recording makes repair time several times longer. I mean,
of course. We know that from doing the videos on the FRS.
Yeah.
Of course it does.
That's why I stopped doing modification videos. There's nothing worse than going to do a modification and then you take the time to record every step and it's just a drudgery. I had no fun doing it. I don't like, so I said, I have a lot of appreciation for these guys that do it. Your thoughts on Mark and his Chevy commercials? I hope he keeps doing it and doesn't get shut down by one of the ad agencies that put out those commercials because I don't know how fair use works with some of that, but I think he needs to do it because those commercials are nonsense.
They're amazing. his version are amazing. Let me add that.
They're funny. Could you recommend ways to improve the longevity of a vehicle I want to get the most miles out of it. Don't drive it. Just you just gotta keep it out of snow and salt as much as possible. Do your oil changes. If it's direct injection, do the cleaning on that. Keep your tires rotated. I mean, just the basic stuff that people have been doing forever. Just don't neglect it. But yeah, salt, and snow and corrosion are the worst things in modern cars. I mean, other than that, if you can avoid that, do that. There's a lot of questions about the Supra. Thoughts on Supra using BMW engine? Thoughts on the Supra?
Bad choice.
I said this at the beginning of the video. You know, if you're a Toyota fan, if you're a Toyota person, why would you want to buy a Toyota badged BMW? And I think that's my biggest problem. And it's not that BMWs aren't good cars. They kind of don't mesh with the whole Toyota, you know, maybe not the best car on paper, but yeah, they're going to last forever. And you just don't see that with any modern BMW product. And that's my fundamental issue. Maybe it'll be the best car ever. I don't know.
You don't know?
But all I know is like history. You know, you look at the M products and it's like BMW owners if you're a BMW fanboy, and I've met these people, you have to be okay with the potential of doing stuff to those cars. And if you're okay with that, you might just enjoy the hell out of it. You might think it's the best car, just knowing, hey, I got to tinker with this thing. And I think the Toyota people are like, they get off on the fact, look, my car is a total slow piece of shit, but I don't have to do any
It's
work
got
on it.
400,000 miles.
Yeah, right. So it's the different mentality, and I don't know yet. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure it's going to be a great car dynamically. But yeah, the automatic thing really bothers me for a car like that. And they keep talking about, well, we want to go back to the basics and have a real connected driver's car. And we're not about spec sheets. We're not about numbers. We're about the feel of it. And then they don't offer a manual, so it's weird. I think I'm going to close this out.
What happened to 45 minutes?
There was a lot more questions than I anticipated.
There always is, though. But I mean, there's got to be a better way.
Yeah, there's got to be a better way to do this. I'm just gonna call up Google right now and be like, "Hey, can you fix this?" You know how big of a deal.
You should call them at 4 in the morning, though.
Yeah, I'll call him at 4 in the morning.
That's when things get done.
I can't do my live stream. All right, it is past Scott's bedtime, and he's gonna be in a review coming up. He will be on a review coming up.
I can't wait for it.
I know.
Even though I pretty much already saw it.
Yeah.
I didn't get to sit through and watch it as I wanted to, but
Last time I'm going to say this dude works 6 days a week on cars. And as much as I want him here, it's like almost fucking insulting to be like, yo, bro, come over and shoot some video on cars after you just got done working all week on them. So, you know, like I'm not paying this guy. He's not getting a salary from me to sit here and enjoy this. So when he's on, you're going to have to enjoy him. When he's not, you're just going to have to appreciate the fact that he's changing people's lives one equinox at a time. All right. Thank you so much. Good night to everybody. Somebody said good night, Estelle.
Somebody said something about changes for 2019. I'm trying to arrange a real race car.
Okay.
So that could be cool. And that will probably be filmed at the old location.
Yes. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of projects in 2019. The last thing before I close this out, Jack is helping me with administrative stuff. He's legitimately helping me with emails, scheduling stuff as like a producer for the next like 4 months. And it's a test to see how much time he spends doing it. And secondly, could I hire somebody to do this stuff to help? And you're going to start to see more products, more cars, more things, but I'm still only one person. Jack could get me 100 cars, and I could barely churn out 1 or 2 a week. So I have to pick and choose my projects, and that's it. So look forward to servicing you in 2019.
Yeah, look for some more reviews from me.
Yes, Scott's
or some editing at least.
Yeah, Scott's gonna have some editing projects. You have that to look forward to. And I think that closes it out. Friday, 7 a.m. Friday.
Why
7 a.m.
7 a.m.?
I could tell you that, but I don't want to give away why. I'll tell you it off camera.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. And thanks to everybody that donated to this live stream. Scott's going to go out and have
Some king crab legs.
King
or
crab
imitation king.
Yeah, he's going to have I'm going to put the king crab imitation crab into the shells for him. See ya. Friday,
Bye.
7 a.m. Central Time. Bye. I can't even spell pie right.
Oh my god.
God.
Like when I was trying to type to you earlier.
How do I end this?
Just throw the phone across the room. It's like a. There you go. Look at that.
Oh my God, look at that. Did I miss anything?
You probably missed a ton.
The Jeep Gladiator. I got a couple more questions. Sorry. What's your thoughts on the Jeep Gladiator? I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna do a video on it, and you're gonna get that. Thanks for the compliment on the quality. I think we got all these.
Are they gonna do a Hellcat Wrangler?
I don't know. I don't know that body. If you look at the under the hood of it, I don't think you could fit that motor. It's too big.
That's a shame.
Picard or Kirk? I don't know. I was never a Star Trek fan. I'm assuming that's what that's related to. Kirk. I'll just say that. Would you rather daily drive a Charger Scat Pack or a Stinger GT?
Ooh.
Charger Scat Pack.
Really?
And I'm not an FCA guy.
Daily drive.
Daily drive. It's V8 versus a V6 Kia.
True.
Even though the Kia is a better car. I'd rather drive the Charger.
It would end up as a garage queen too, so.
Probably. Really wish we got a review on the Dodge Dart. I will do a Dodge Dart for you. You hate school. I know you do. Everybody hates school unless they were paying you to go. What happened with you and the Hyundai dealership tragedy? I was looking forward to a 2019 Veloster video. You're going to get that. Supercharge my 2002 Impreza 2.5 RS. No, keep it naturally aspirated. It will be a lot better for you in the long run unless you have disposable income and that car
And disposable time.
Yeah, exactly. For a nice dinner at Taco Bell, you entertaining assholes.
Nice. It doesn't say assholes, it says a-holes.
Oh, sorry, I said it. I'm sure I offended somebody. I think that's it. Got through all the paid questions. I don't want to jip people out of their hard-earned money. Everybody's offended. Bye. These people, they just think that all we have to do is answer questions. I don't get it. God. You know how hard I work? You know how hard I work?
How hard?
I work so hard. And these people just ask questions. God. Did you take my plunger?
I